Mileage matters, and if you don't believe me, just look at this. An Electron Blue 6th Gen Civic Si with 5,600 miles on it sold for a whopping $50,000. Here is the exact same car that sold for just $16,000, and the only reason was mileage. But guess what? There is a way to cheat buyers, and it's happening all of the time. So today, on Blinker Fluid, we are going to dig real deep into this illegal practice and show you how it's done on old and new cars and specific steps that you have to follow every single time to spot it from a mile away. Let's go. And real quick, thank you Bespoke Post for sponsoring today's video. Bespoke Post is a monthly membership club that delivers awesome boxes of high quality goods from under the radar brands to your front door. Plus, it's free to join. Each Bespoke Post box has around $70 in retail value, but only costs a fraction of that. Every month, based on your preference quiz, Bespoke Post introduces members to a different box lineup containing products such as outdoor gear, barware, home and kitchen goods, clothing, and more. And the best part about Bespoke Post is that you only pay for what you want. Before shipping, you get a sneak peek into the box chosen for you, and you can decide if you want to keep it, swap it out for a different one, or skip that month entirely for no charge. When you buy Bespoke Post, you also are supporting local businesses, as 90% of the sold products are made by small companies. Last month, we received a Weekender bag, which we've been using ever since. Yes, Dino the intern travels with us. And this best-selling bag is made with high-quality materials and is available in 6 different colors. Then, this month, we received a super high-quality camp hatchet with sheath, which Resident Dino put to good use real quick with sharp precision. No pun intended. Treat yourself to a Bespoke Post box or give your loved one a present they'll never forget. Go to bespokepost.com/ideal20 or just click the link down in the description and enter code ideal20 at checkout to get 20% off your first Bespoke Post box. Thanks for supporting the sponsors that support us. Now, let's roll back to the show. Okay, I got a question for you guys. Does mileage matter to you when you go car shopping? I know in the olden days, it was pretty common to see a car on its last legs before it hit 100,000 miles. But modern cars last a very long time. So, does mileage matter? I mean, if you ask me, it's not even the best way to measure how used a car actually is. I mean, traveling 1,000 miles on open highway is a whole lot different than 1,000 miles in the city, right? Well, yeah, but since we don't keep track of how many times the brake pedal was pressed, and unless you're in a Tesla, most cars don't use a Hobbs meter to measure the hours running, so we do need something to guess how abused a car really is, and mileage, just the easiest to track. So, like it or not, the number of miles greatly affects a car's value. And as you saw with the 2 Electron Blue Civic SIs, I looked at both the listings and they were pretty much the exact same car, except for one thing, mileage. One had 5,600 miles on it, and the other had almost 20 times that at 99K. And with that mileage discrepancy, the lower mileage example sold for over 3.1 times higher than the high mileage one. I mean, 3 times more, guys. Those are the stakes. The higher miles equals less money if you're selling a car, which is exactly why there are a lot of people cheating. And unfortunately, it is more common than you think. The old mechanical odometers were super easy to roll back. Like as easy as Walmart rolling back their prices. Plus, if you suspected fraud, you could open up the mechanical odometer and it was super easy to spot the tampering. Now, you'd think with new digital odometers that are high tech, it would be a whole lot harder, but hackers are gonna hack all the time. And once you hear how easy it was for a Ferrari customer to have their odometer rolled back on their 2015 Ferrari LaFerrari, you're gonna be wondering if you've ever seen a car for sale that was displaying the correct mileage. Yeah, I mean, first off, check out this website, Mileagestopper.com, and their About Us, which says literally, welcome to Mileagestopper.com, your #1 source for stopping your mileage. Yeah. And then let's say that you have a newer Mustang and you want to stop putting miles on it while still daily driving it. Bam! For $249, your odometer is frozen, and you keep the value of your car high as you put miles on it. Now, you're hoping that humans are good people and you want to give them the benefit of the doubt, right? But with such an easy install. Inexpensive devices available to stop your car from essentially depreciating as you drive it? Yeah, people are hit by the temptation bug more than you would think. So this is absolutely something that you should be aware of. The United States Department of Transportation also estimates that the number of cars sold with false odometer readings is about 4% of sales. That is, ladies and gentlemen, 450,000 cars per year, meaning your too good to be true Civic Si with 5,600 miles on it might have actually been too good to be true. And normally you'd expect to find this kind of BS from sleazy dealers. You know, the ones that are buy here, pay here kind of places, and they'll guarantee you that loan, but you'd never expect Ferrari. Let's take a stroll back to April 2017, and some ex-employees raised the red flag. They stated that Ferrari was giving workshops a special device called a DEIS tester, and it could roll back the mileage of their cars. Now, Ferrari claims that that device never led to fraud, and that tool was only used for resetting faulty odometers. And I gotta ask you, have you ever heard of a faulty odometer? I mean, I never have.
It's a Ferrari thing.
Yet this DEIS tool was used a lot, and most of the time it was legitimate since it was needed to fix computer problems, and you know, after all, it's a Ferrari, so it happened a lot. But somehow, some way, and usually these larger companies with a whole lot of money, well, the story just kind of got squashed, brushed under the rug, and behind the scenes, Ferrari quietly added password protections to their computers, which, I don't know, I mean, kind of seems like a weird thing to do, you know, since no one is actually tampering with odometers. Yeah, and that's kind of Ferrari's MO. I mean, they got caught cheating like they did in Formula One. And then just a year later, everyone kind of goes on as if nothing really happened. Most of us, we're not buying Ferraris though, even though some of us can afford them, which I explained in this super ideal blinker fluid vid up here. And I want you to remember this. It's an old adage that if it's too good to be true, well, then it probably is. Now, the average person drives 13,500 miles per year. So if you're looking at a used 2017 BRZ and it's got 70,000 miles on it, that's 14,000 miles a year, which seems totally fine. However, if you go check out a 2017 Golf and there's only 4,000 miles on it, well, that's really low for the age of the vehicle, which is a red flag. So what do? Well, you don't call Ghostbusters. You actually just write what I'm about to tell you down. First, ask for the last bill of sale or title, assuming that the seller hasn't made a fake. It'll have the odometer reading at the last time of sale. If they've owned it for 2 years and they bought it with 3,800 miles on it and they used it as their daily driver for the past 2 years and their work's 15 miles away, so 30-mile commute per day, ding, 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 they must have done something. Yeah, that smells fishy. Now, you can also look at like oil change stickers in the windshield and see the date and mileage of the last oil change. Also, you want to examine the tires, especially if it's a newer vehicle and has only 4,000 miles on it, but the tires have already been replaced. Yeah, sometimes it is due to age, but most of the time it's due to mileage if it's used as a regular car. And next, look at the wear and tear on the vehicle. Check the gas, brakes, and clutch pedals for wear. Examine the front end for rock chips. You know, more than you'd expect for a car with that mileage. Also look at the steering wheel and also the driver's side bolster for wear and tear. If it's excessive, something's not adding up. Also, use the interwebs. Run a Carfax report to see if there's any discrepancies. And if you're still wary, but you like the car, get a PPI or pre-purchase inspection and have a trusted technician look it over for tampering and have them scan the computer for issues. And if you're subscribed to Ideal, which you definitely should be because we're about to hit 1 million and you might be the millionth, you know you never buy a car without a PPI. And that's all good if you haven't bought your next car yet. But what happens if you're now thinking that the car that you currently own, you're like, oh dude, I think I just bought one of those 450,000 cars sold each year with tampered odometers. What do I do? Well, let me tell you, because there's some bad news and there's some good news. And what do you want? The bad news or good news first? We'll start with the bad news. And well, that is that you're stuck with your lemon. I mean, while it is illegal to tamper with an odometer, most jurisdictions, they just have no intentions to force sellers to give refunds. However, the good news, you should be able to get your money back. Well, specifically, you should be able to get the difference in price between the estimated real mileage and the fraudulent mileage. Remember that 2000 Civic Si that you bought for 50 grand and it was really worth 16 grand now that you found out that it actually had 99,000 miles on it when you bought it? Yeah, there's a chance that the government will pay you for the difference. The NHTSA actually has a resource page for exactly this scam. So hit it up if you need it. I'll link to it in the description. As for Ferrari, after suing their customers, pissing off Mr. Chin, Jay Leno, and getting into trouble with the FIA because they can't stop cheating at Formula One, surely they've learned their... no, they are currently caught up in an NFT scam. Yet another cheating scandal for the 2022 Miami Grand Prix. Yeah, Ferrari. There is no alternative. So, if you ever wanted proof that some car companies are above the law, all you have to do is look for another lit beacon, which is probably a 458 on fire again. So, for everyone else, have you ever been scammed? Whether it was a car or something else, let us know in the comments below. I'm curious what scams you guys have been a part of. And go binge watch some other blinker fluid videos here, because if you like this one, you're gonna love this series. I'm Brad, trying to keep you educated and safe out there. This is Ideal, and promise me one thing, keep living the ideal lifestyle.